Hello. How are you?
Yes, we always come on here giggling.
You almost caught me dancing. I was,
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of In the Diva's Den. We have a lot in store for you guys tonight. There is a lot to address. A lot that happened over the weekend, a lot that has happened in the last couple of days. Meghan and Harry speaking out about the royals and, all of the backlash behind that. Mississippi essentially signing a bill where trans athletes cannot compete in girls' sports. People trying to turn up in ATL and uhauls and scams on GoFundMe, Coming to America sequel. There is a lot to get to tonight. But before we get into any of that, as you can see, Precious and I are matching down to the blue and the yellow, which is dope. Hey, now you see it. Let's do our check-in. Precious girl, how are you feeling?
God is dope. That's the tweet. How you doing?
Girl, I am here. That's the tweet. I'm just taking it day by day. Because that's all we can do, because there is just a lot of moving parts happening right now. A lot that is going on, and I don't know if, like you said last week, if it's just preparing us for something greater. But it's a lot. And I advise anyone who is, having sort of anxiety or stress or, just can't really seem to get it together, just take some time out for yourself. Really take some time out for yourself. For me, I think it's the fact that I stopped eating sugar and stopped drinking. So I got a real short circuit.
It'll go away. The headaches and stuff is gonna go away. It's just you killing the candida, and they mad.
Girl.
And once they gone, they gone.
The headache is something crazy right now. And I'm like, I just want some wine, some chocolate, a donut, a cupcake, all of that. Can't get to it. But anyway, let us know in the comments how you guys are feeling. Check in with us. Let us know how you're doing, how your day is going, how your week is going. And if you have some sort of blessing that has happened to you, let us know. We are always here for good news. Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a second. Let's go ahead and get into our headlines. Yeah. I should make that jingle.
Yep. That's the backdrop.
So, first and foremost, Precious.
Meghan
and Harry decided to speak out on racism happening in Buckingham Palace. But the question is, are we really surprised?
I mean, Bridgerton is fake. So no, not surprised. Yeah, such is life, right? I mean, I do feel bad for her, because nobody should have to be driven to the point where their existence is questionable in their mind.
Right.
And also to feel helpless in protecting your child. That this is an innocent child that didn't have to be here, and you're already throwing shots at it, saying, how dark are you? Okay, let's not lie and say us as Black people don't do that too. But it's for different reasons. But
right.
For them to even have the gall to ask that question, even if it was some sort of joke or just in passing, that's not okay. That is your brother, that is your son, that is your cousin, whomever said it, and that's his wife and child. Who are you to say that? Ain't nobody talking about William and his balding cradle cap that he had for the past 5-10 years. Nobody's talking about Kate and her million wrinkles and she younger than Meghan. Nobody's talking about these things. But they're going to talk about this little innocent baby. Why? Why? Because it's rude, right? So why would you talk about the baby? It's rude. Don't do it.
That part. And I just don't understand why everybody is essentially acting as if this isn't something that we deal with on the regular. What I don't get is why people like Piers Morgan, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen him just completely blow his gasket over the last couple of days of Meghan Markle, where they are just so, in awe of the fact that she decided to speak out, that there actually is racism, in the royals, and that, they're attacking her. She's not necessarily getting the protection that she needs from the tabloids and everything like that. And for them to say like, oh, well, you know, this can't be true. How do you tell a Black person that they're not experiencing racism? Like, she is Black, and I'm pretty sure she's aware that what they're saying is racist. Like, how, you know, and for them to give this corny, you know, PC correspondence after they decided to go ahead and speak out and essentially say that, you know, we're here for Harry and Meghan and Archie, and they're loved by their family members. Where was that love when she was being attacked?
Right, and when they fled. Because shout out to Harry for protecting his family. He left. The Bible said leave and cleave. That's what Harry did. He said, I'm going to leave and cleave to my wife and child, make sure we are safe, and let y'all do what y'all do over there. Whether we have a relationship or not. He said, time heal all wounds, maybe. That's what he said.
And shout out to Tyler Perry. I mean, because if it wasn't for the interview, who would have known that he actually decided to step up and say, hey, I will hire security for you. You can stay with me. And I mean, that's a shame that, you know, someone over here in the U.S., you know, decided to say, you don't have the protection that you need. Let me go ahead and provide that for you. And the fact that nobody's actually talking about this. Instead, it's just, how dare you speak out against the royal family? That is the topic. And I don't understand why. You know,
they sound like Trumpers to me. Where you can't say anything wrong about the institution in power, and that you have to just let them do what they do and be how they are. And I'm like, no, if they're wrong, they're wrong. Call a spade a spade.
And as you can see here, you know, from the fact that Piers Morgan has been going crazy and he's just feeling as though his freedom of speech is being jeopardized because people are calling him out, you know, and rightfully so, because you have been attacking Meghan for the last umpteen years, all because she ghosted you. You know, if you guys didn't hear about it, he was upset because she went to some party and didn't respond back to him. And that's how she ended up meeting Harry. And, you know, the story is told. Now they're together. But
do you think it would be him though?
I think so. So. I really think that he's harboring ill will towards her because he thought that maybe they would be a thing. And since she stopped talking to him, you know, or ghosted him, as he would say, which, you know, there's his side, her side, and the truth, and decided to, you know, essentially, you know, date and eventually marry Harry, then this man has been on a rampage to use his platform to talk about her horrendously. And I'm so glad we actually have a clip that I want to show you guys that Dr. Shola, who decided to step on to Good Morning Britain and completely gathered and collected him on numerous points. Kayla, let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Over the Queen. Listen, by all means, let's applaud the Queen when she does something right. But when she does something wrong, we need to call her out.
What does she do wrong? What does she do wrong?
Grandmother, let me finish. What kind of grandmother would be so close to her grandson, Harry, but then not use her power and influence as queen to protect them from the racist media coverage? What kind of grandmother will protect her own son, Prince Andrew, from the potential crime of raping a minor, but will do jack all to protect Harry and Meghan? Especially, I have no doubt that she would have heard about the suicidal thoughts and the help and support she needs. And then you sit there hammering on about how the royal institution is not racist. Are you out of your God-forsaken mind?
No, you know what? I find what you're saying about the Queen actually disgraceful. I find what you're saying, you're entitled to your opinion, Shola. I find, sorry, no, I'm allowed to respond to what you've just said.
Is rooted, listen, you might learn something. The royal family as an institution is rooted in colonialism, white supremacy, and racism. The legacy is right there. So you're now surprised that a comment would have been made by several members of the royal family about how dark Archie's skin is.
It's not several members, actually. No, you can't spew lies.
All right. Harry and Meghan.
Are we allowed to engage in any of this?
Let me finish.
Well, you're not stopping.
That Harry and Meghan had the audacity to speak that truth, than you should be at the actual outrage of racism.
Right.
Period.
You know what's funny? That whole brown paper bag test that we've been seeing in all the memes with the Queen. I wouldn't be surprised. Meghan, let me just say something. Meghan was not the first Black person in the royal family.
That part.
Put that out there, okay? She was just noticeably Black. We're just gonna leave it at that.
And
that's all I'm saying.
That part. But even to Dr. Shola's point, the fact that you guys are just so upset of, you know, oh, how dare you speak ill of the queen, but you're not even paying attention to what's being said is the problem. And not only is it a problem over there, but we see that this is a continuous problem that we as Black people right here in America have, where we're sitting here saying, hey, this is racist. You are attacking Black people. And it's like, what? How dare you? How dare you? Why would you say something like that? They can't possibly be racist. Yes, they can. And they are, and it's proven. And why are you negating how this woman feels?
And just Megan as a person, like the hate that she gets, it does not make any type of sense. Since when they were dating, it was cute. Right. Hollywood actress, right. Dates a prince. Right. As soon as the engagement came out, right. It was a problem across the board, here and there. And to this day, I do not understand why she's labeled as the harlot actress that was divorced and tried to steal from the prince. But the truth is, there was her money that helped him get to where they are right now, and the money that his mama foresaw to put aside for him. Shout out to Princess Diana for that generational blessing that she left her son, because she didn't want him to go through what she went through.
That part. You know, but it's an exhausting conversation. You know, it really is. It's unfortunate. But shout out to Harry, like you said, for protecting his wife, because obviously no one else is going to step up and do so. It was revealed later on, Oprah had said that it wasn't Queen Elizabeth or Philip who made the comments. Not to mention that Philip is literally like 1 million years old. So I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have said anything. Sir, you got one foot in the grave. But a lot of people are speculating that it may actually have been Kate who made those comments about baby Archie.
She said she was the one who made her cry, not the other way around. So who knows what she said or what she did to make her cry. Mm-hmm.
That part. But I just wish people would stop trying to make the royals gods. They're people at the end of the day. They take a shit just like we do. They put their pants on just like we do, you know, so they're not above being racist. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and say that. So let's move on to the next thing, because that has been a conversation that has been talked about ad nauseum, but of course we got to talk about it because this is what we do. But one topic that has been setting social media on fire, I don't know if you guys have heard, in Mississippi, they have signed a bill that is banning trans athletes from girls' sports. So essentially, a male who essentially became trans and is now a woman, they cannot compete in female-dominated sports. A lot of people are at battle with this, because I know it was a hot topic in Connecticut where 2 of their track stars were competing in track and field on the girls team, and they were winning, you know. And as you can see right here, it's one of the ladies in the red and the other one in black. They were winning, and a lot of the parents and a lot of the athletes felt as though it wasn't fair because they had an advantage over, you know, a lot of the girls that are competing in these sports. So Mississippi, as I said, is going to sign this bill essentially banning it. But surprisingly, I'm seeing that a lot of people are in support of it, which makes me pose the question, do you feel as though trans athletes should compete in girls' sports or in boys' sports? Precious, what do you think?
That's a tricky one, because, I mean, if they are able to now finally live in their truth, unfortunately, they have to live with everything that comes along with that. Mm-hmm. And people who don't agree with it, people who don't understand it, and then also the life of things like this. What's fair, what's not fair? Would it be an answer to the question to have a league of their own? Is that a question? Is that fair? Is that not fair? Like, I don't know what is correct in this instance. I understand the argument. I understand the fact that biologically, science-wise, they're saying that they have an advantage. As Dee is saying in the comments, like, they have an advantage because physiologically they're different. But at the same time, is that saying that women are weaker than men? So, because they just had a headlines of a woman beat the men in some kind of sport. And it's like, what's right, what's wrong? I don't know in this new world, and just making sure that people are heard and felt and acknowledged. Mm-hmm. But like, how do we do this the right way?
I definitely think genetically, men have an advantage over women, which is the reason why there are female and male sports,
Yeah.
to essentially make it even across the playing field. I am in no way saying that, oh, well, I don't, how do I want to word this? If you choose to be trans, that is completely your business. It does not affect me in any type of way. I'm not going to treat you any differently. However, you do know that there are going to be some rules that you said, some regulations and some consequences that come with that decision. So if you are a male who decides to transition into being a female, I do not believe that it's fair that you should compete against, women who essentially are deciding to say, I'm a woman, I'm not transitioning, non-trans. So I do think, to your point, maybe it is a conversation of let's decide to create a league for them, to where you are competing against people who essentially are the same and on the same playing field.
But then the question then too, like, in order for that to be true, they would have to be essentially outed, and not everybody's comfortable with that. So it's like, what do you do? I don't know.
Listen, if you're going to come out as trans, we're essentially going to know, like,
if you physically come out, that's true.
Exactly. But I can't say that it's fair. And I know if I was a parent, I'm not a parent, but if I was a parent, I would have some issues with that, because I don't believe it's fair,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying that, oh, well, it's wrong to be trans. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think genetically, it's not fair.
Question is, has it ever happened the other way around, where a woman has transitioned into a man and is now competing in male sports? Because we always hear about it this way around. We never hear about it the other way around. And is that a problem? Right.
Exactly. And I have not heard, I've only heard of the two athletes that are competing in female sports. I haven't heard the other way around. Mm-hmm. And I have seen, where some people probably won't make a big deal out of it as much. Mm. But I think because, women essentially, at one point weren't allowed to play,
that's true,
with men. So they essentially had to create a league of their own. Mm-hmm. So then now all of a sudden, now you're asking men to go into this category with women, when the reason why they made this was because they could not compete with men on that same, on that same playing field. So it's a tough discussion to have. And I definitely, as a parent, I feel for both sides. But when we talk about being fair, I cannot say that I think it's fair. I don't think it's fair.
I honestly would love to hear from someone like a professor or someone who maybe is trans and identifies as trans, or has children that identify as trans, to really enlighten us in the public on a discussion like this. Because what are the feelings that go through your mind when it comes to protecting your child, protecting yourself, but then also the feeling of fairness, and how does that come about?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would even love to hear from coaches, because that's a difficult decision for them to make as well. If someone who is trans comes to you and say, Coach, I identify as a female, I want to, compete on the track and field, coach basketball, or whatever have you. How do you as a coach handle that situation? Do you have the, hard conversation with them and tell them like, hey, well, I only physically train female athletes, so you would still need to train with male athletes or whatever. Like how is that conversation being had? Because I know that this is something that's becoming more common, but the sensitivity of it, how do you handle it? Because I just know if I were in that situation, it would be really, really tough. You don't want to tell someone no, but you really have to think of it in a realistic sense. Am I being fair?
You know what's funny? They used to say that about Black people, that we were genetically predisposed to be stronger than white people. And that's why we could not compete with them. We had to be in the league. So that's really interesting how the conversation has transformed now to a genetic conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And to your point, I would love to hear, from someone who is trans, to definitely, have discussion with us. This is what we're here for, to have this open dialogue and hear, other people's side of it. Just like I was still waiting to hear from some Trumpers and have not heard anything, but the information is still there. But I mean, essentially, as Tatiana said, are we going to move towards having non-binary or non-gendered sports? I you guys heard, in California, their retail stores are actually moving towards to not having any boys or girls section. It's just essentially going to be one, section of just clothes.
Yeah.
And do most people agree with that?
Mm-hmm. We've seen that here too, with after the controversial bathroom bill that passed and was a problem. Now we have a lot of places here that have the non-identifying bathroom stalls because they don't care. If you have to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that that's, something like that probably doesn't bother people as much as sports. We know how serious people take sports.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of money invested into it, a lot of time that's invested into it. So it's just like, we need to have a really deep discussion on this about how we're going to move forward from this. So, I mean, you guys let us know. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? Should Mississippi move? I mean, they are moving forward, but should they move forward with banning trans athletes from girls' sports, or do you think that it's completely wrong for them to do so? Because there are a couple of other states who are also thinking of doing the same. And should they have a league of their own? So let us know. Come on, let us know. The conversation will continue even after we move on. But one thing that I do want to address, don't know if you guys heard about this story. Before we get into trending topics, I definitely want to mention this because it breaks my heart. Rochester Police Department has just been doing an awful job, horrible job, and has been in the headlines for the last few weeks now. A couple weeks ago was for the fact that they were pepper spraying a 9-year-old child. And now, just a couple days ago, they decided to pepper spray a woman who was holding her 3-year-old toddler and accused her of stealing. Now, the body cam footage has dropped, and everyone was able to see it. You see the police officer essentially, walk up to her, and he's already talking stuff. He was already agitated before even approaching her. So once he approached her, he's like, "Oh, I need to know what's in your bag. They're saying that you're stealing, blah, blah, blah." You can clearly see that she's confused. And she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Sir, you can look into my bag." She opens the bag. All you see is diapers, wipes, and some personal belongings. And instead of letting her go, he decides to tell her, "Well, you can just, stay here and wait with me, and we can go and talk to the manager to make sure that everything is okay." After he says that, she's just like, "No, like, you don't need to hold me. I've shown you that I don't have anything." And she takes off running. Once again, clearly agitated. He decides to run after her. And because she was just scared and said, like, "I don't have anything, like, leave me alone. Like, I showed you I don't have anything." He's trying to detain her. Next thing you know, he pepper sprays her while she's still holding her child. At what point do we stop this? Like,
fear is real. I know how people say rationally, "Oh, she shouldn't have run." No, fear is real.
Absolutely.
Number one is the Rochester Police Department, who's been in the news since last year of doing foolishness. They pushed this older white man down to the point where his skull cracked and was bleeding and they walked past him, and they were not even charged with anything for that. I don't understand. They killed a whole black man. Like you said, they done pepper spray. Fear is real. So yes, she feared for her life and her child. And so she did what she could to protect them. And then this man, who was so bothered by this woman and her 3-year-old, decided to go and attack her.
Absolutely.
They need the ego check.
That part, because why do you still think I'm lying? If I showed you, well, she didn't even have to show the contents of her purse because she was clearly all the way down the street walking and minding her own business. But you decided to, approach her anyway. But she showed you the contents of her purse. There's nothing in there. And you still say, "Oh, I need you to wait here." No. Why? For what? So if I just decide to walk away from you, I have every right to. There's no reason for why you feel the need to detain me. I didn't do anything. And that's all she kept saying was, "I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Just leave me alone." But because of, like you said, their ego, and your pride, "I can't let you, run me. I'm the police. How dare you essentially try to, tell me what to do, all of that madness." You take it a step further to where it didn't even have to get to that point. There was no need for that. You'd be like, "All right, ma'am, have a good day. I'll talk to them or whatever, but I can clearly see that there's nothing in your bag." Like,
right. And there's footage. I mean, even if you were calm and say, hey, let's review the footage just to make sure that everybody gets out of here okay and there's no problem, de-escalate the situation. That's your job as a police officer, to de-escalate the situation, not to come in like RoboCop and cause an issue.
And be extra. And, I think we actually do have the actual footage of the police officer approaching her. So let's go ahead and let's roll that.
Negative, no description of item.
All right, Pepper, if you're holding the air, you can release it.
Nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, we got to talk with them and see. So I need you to hop in my car with your kid really quick, and we're going to go check.
Sir.
Fine.
Sir.
You know what? Even better? Hold on. Watch this. I'm going to have him check. Once he confirms you didn't steal, you're out of here. But you have to stay with me.
What?
Yep. Hey. Oh, we got a female running towards Portland. She's running through Mojo's here. Hey, come here. Stop.
I didn't do it.
Stop.
I did not do anything.
Hey, we're right in the parking lot here.
Stop it.
Would you stop backing up?
Okay.
Put the kid down.
Okay.
Put the kid down. Put George behind your back now. Put George behind your back. Stop. Stop.
And see what I mean? There was no need for it to get to that point.
No, it was not.
And she's literally standing there showing you her purse, saying, I didn't do anything. You're like, oh, well, we need to go and talk to him. There's nothing left to confirm. And guess what? If she did steal something, who the hell cares? Like, let it go. It's a loss. You know how many times when I worked in retail where I clearly seen somebody put something in their purse or in their stroller, not saying, what type of people they were, but I clearly saw that, and all you can do is address them. They say, I didn't take anything or something like that. You have to let them go. Like, it is what it is. So why did you feel the need to run after this woman, then tackle her, throw her to the ground to try to detain her and pepper spray her all while she's holding her toddler? Like,
because she was never human to him.
No.
You can tell in the way that he reacted, he spoke to her from the beginning. He never saw her as a human being, never saw it as a chance to teach, to say, even if she did, it was a slap on the wrist, to say, hey, you shouldn't do this, or how can I help you so you don't have to do this? No, it was, I see you as an animal. You're probably guilty, so I'm going to treat you as such.
Exactly. Period. And it's just this conversation of being treated, like you said, like animals or being less than from police officers is just so exhausting. It's really exhausting. And I don't think people understand the anxiety and, as you said, the fear that you feel when you see a cop car behind you, or they're walking towards you or beside you or driving anywhere near you, because you're just like, I may be somebody who will be on the internet going viral, or possibly being pepper sprayed, being tased, being, assaulted, possibly even shot. And it's just exhausting. It is so exhausting. Like, completely exhausting. Can we stop this, please?
Yeah.
Please. And this is what, before we go into a commercial break, this is what I essentially tell people. Like, when I see people talking about, oh, we're going to have programming where we're supporting Black businesses, or, we're going to rename a street Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, or we're going to put Black Lives Matter on the street. I don't care about any of that. What I need you to do is make these police officers accountable so we can feel safe by just walking down the street or walking in and out of the store without someone telling us, oh, well, you stole, so I'm going to call the police, because I know either you're going to get arrested or you may die. Can we do that? Can we do that, please? Okay. Thank you, because I'm tired of y'all trying to profit off of Black people, but not really helping us. Hello.
You need a whole album, just a whole album of stuff.
I'm tired of it, girl. I'm tired. I'm over it. Told you, I ain't had no sugar in the wine, so I'm confused. We are going to take a quick commercial break. You're going to hear a word from our sponsors before we get into our trending topics, because, baby, All-Star Weekend, I don't know what y'all was doing out here, but we are going to talk about that right after the commercial break.
Your game night just got louder with the Lyric Party game app.
What 3 words the tag team tell you when you're getting busy? These 3 words when you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is. Hit me. According to Sir Mix-a-Lot, what did Baby have? Back. What did Eminem say his name was? Slim Shady. Come on. According to Barry White, what should you practice?
What you preach.
Laugh, yell, and compete. Download the Lyric Party game app in the App Store and Google Play.
All right, guys, and we are back. We gotta play Lyric Party again. I think we need to invite some of our viewers on and have a whole Lyric Party.
That would be good. Yeah. Lyric Party.
Lyric Party. Let's do that. But let's get into our trending topics because baby. I don't know if you guys heard what type of shenanigans and what type of foolishness was happening for All-Star Weekend, but just know the foolishness was real. One of the things that seemed to be trending on social media was the fact that people were renting U-Hauls to go to Atlanta to party because the hotels were at maximum capacity, the Airbnbs were at maximum capacity. Literally, people had nowhere to stay, but they just had to go to Atlanta to experience All-Star Weekend. So they had the bright idea of renting a U-Haul and making it into a party bus. Just in case you think we're lying, we actually have video of some of the girls on social media who did exactly that. Kayla, go ahead and roll those clips. Girl, what?
Why she hop out with the 1999 sign on the back? Why she?
Girl, what?
When they said 99 2000, they did not mean the price of the U-Haul. I can't.
There's more. Kayla, roll the other clip.
I'm not about that life. I want that life now.
Y'all, you know what?
COVID. Are we not still in the middle of a pandemic in which a lot of people are still on the wait list to get vaccinated, and still that does not make you invincible? So they said, I can't go to school or work normally because I got to wear a mask and be 6 feet away, but I could sit in a hot ass U-Haul with people this close to my face spitting. What is wrong with people? What?
When I tell you I love my people because y'all will come up with anything and do anything just to party. Y'all really sat here and took y'all money and rented a U-Haul van and made it into a party bus because you did not want to miss out on All-Star Weekend. Is the turn up really that real? Is it?
But you still missing out on All-Star Weekend because you ain't at the game. You ain't with the people.
Oh, baby.
What's the point?
It's not about basketball. I don't think I've seen one tweet referencing basketball all weekend. It was all about the turn up. That's all it was about. And then some young ladies decided to take it another step further. It gets even better. So there were a few ladies who allegedly were stranded in Atlanta. So they decided to create a GoFundMe account and ask people to donate to them getting back home. One girl said that she had $400 to her name and she needed $1,200 in order to get back. And a lot of people actually went ahead and gave her the money. She raised, as you can see there, $1,600, only to find out that she never even was at All-Star Weekend. She just wanted to create the GoFundMe just to see if people would donate to it, which they did. Dummies. I don't know why y'all would do that. And she went viral to the point where people like 50 Cent, Chris Brown, Joe Budden, all of them were referencing and talking about this girl. I think even Lil Yachty talked about her and about how stupid it was. But she finessed $1,600 and wasn't even at ATL, at All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. Now, She since decided to refund everybody's money because, you know, if there is fraud, GoFundMe will shut it down quickly and will make sure that they refund everybody's money back. But she allegedly said that she went ahead and on good faith, and because it was just a joke, decided to refund everyone who contributed to her GoFundMe their money back. Girl, we're not doing that. You got caught. Your best friend put you on blast because she had the whole text message thread between the two of y'all. You saying, ha, 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 it's a joke. You know, I can't believe people were actually donating to this. And it went viral. So people were pissed. And you had no choice but to give people their money back. What is happening?
You know, I read her description. And in it, she said that she was banking on her unemployment to kick in, but they played her. And she couldn't get it. So you had people commenting, they donating $5, $10, $15, $20. I think the biggest one I saw was $75, might have been more than that.
Yes.
Talk about some now, no better. Don't do it again. Why would you? Now, when she really needs the money and really needs to make a GoFundMe, she's not gonna get anything because she messed up her credibility.
Not a damn thing, because you know what? After going to her Facebook, yes, I went to her Facebook because, you know, I just wanted to see. Yeah. She thinks that this was a joke. She's laughing, you know, calling people dummies, blah, 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 and talking about, oh, I went viral, blah, blah. And it's so sad to see that that is everyone's objective now. You know, make quick money and go viral. And you don't care how it makes you look as a person, but as long as you are viral, oh, that's the cool thing. But for how long, baby? Because we're going to be on to the next thing, you know, and we're not going to talk about you anymore, but you will forever be known as the girl that was on GoFundMe and tried to scam people out of their money. Like,
right.
But if you want to go viral for something else, you know, at
something
least
good. Yeah. No, we can't just do something good.
Yeah. And then spearheaded a few other women who decided to do the same thing. You know, some people asking for $1,100. You know, some people asking for, you know, the same amount, $12, and you know, some people $2,500. I guess the price is right. Like we're, you know, trying to figure out what it is. We're not doing this. No. Stop, y'all. Stop. This is not the purpose of GoFundMe. You will not be on Beyonce's internet doing this foolishness. We don't have time for you. We don't have time for this. Y'all look stupid. And when GoFundMe finds out that you're sitting here trying to, you know, get money off of people and that it's a joke, they're going to shut it down. And stop donating to people who do stupid shit like this. Stop it. Stop. I work too hard for my coins to give it to somebody who decided to go to Atlanta, allegedly, on a one-way ticket and only had $400 to their name. Baby, that sounds like a you problem, not me.
Right. That's you about to make a whole brand new life down in Atlanta. Midnight train to Georgia. You're staying there. That's what it is.
Because let me tell you something. You still got 2 feet and they work perfectly fine. So you better get
them little dollar buses that go to New York. That's what I'm saying. Trying to get back. Little dollar bus. Megabus is $2.50 from North Carolina to Atlanta. $5 round trip.
That part. Good. But another thing that was trending over the weekend, Coming to America 2. A whole day early. And our people could not wait. We've waited and waited. We've heard, and there was speculation about how Coming to America was going to have a sequel, and you know, it was coming in hot about the cast, and then it died down a little bit because of COVID, and the next thing you know, it really was happening. It's on Amazon. It dropped a whole day early, and people flocked to it like no other. I would like to know, Precious, did you watch it? And how did you feel about Coming to America Part 2?
Yes, I did watch it. I will say this. It was a fun movie to watch as far as getting a break away from the norm. I will say that. Now, as far as comparison between this and the original, there is no comparison. It's different times, different filmmaking capabilities, different storylines. I think what kind of shot them in the foot was the mention that Ryan Coogler had pitched to do the sequel, and they turned him down. He was trying to bring Michael B. Jordan along with him for that, and they were going to do the storyline of him looking for his wife, kind of like how that was. But then, even though they turned him down, they did nods to him in Wakanda and Black Panther and everything. They even styled him like Killmonger. So it was like, if you're gonna make a departure from that to make total departure. And I appreciated the new storyline and what they did, but some of it fell a little flat because they were trying to tell a story too quickly.
Right.
So it didn't get to the point where you could really sit in what was happening. But as far as the comedic geniuses that were in the film, first of all, Wesley Snipes is a lot funnier than I thought he would be. And there were some moments where we hollered out loud. But overall, don't think too deeply about what to expect from this movie. Just sit back with some candy, hot tamales, whatever you eat, and watch it.
You know, I would have to agree. I didn't really go in with high expectations. So when I watched it, I can't say that I was disappointed. It's definitely a feel-good Black movie. If you're looking for the same laughs and chuckles that you got from the original, I can't say that I would, in my opinion, you're going to get that with the second one. There were a couple times where I was like, you know, just usually what you do when you're scrolling on social media and you do the little, that was funny, and keep it moving. You know, I think I really laughed hard when Leslie decided to say something like she was so hungry she could eat ass through a zipper. Now that made me die laughing.
Their faces when she said that, they were like, wait, what?
Yes, that really made me laugh. And I enjoyed the fact that she wasn't so over the top and loud and overbearing. Like we actually got to see her just, you know, deliver her lines, be her. And it was funny, you know. I enjoyed, like you said, the storyline there and the fact that they were all on, you know, girl power and, you know, equal rights and, you know, women can do exactly what men do, blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, I just don't think they took their time with the jokes.
Right.
You know? Like it was cute, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. Yeah. Right. I didn't get that. You know, like the original will always make me crack up till this day. But it's a different time, different writers, you know, and I don't know if that was what they were going for with this. So it was just like, oh, let's just tell a story and, you know, make it nice and make it a feel good story. Like it's definitely something that the whole entire family could sit down and watch. And like I said, you'll get a couple chuckles, but I can't say that I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I got more cheesy.
Yeah. I will say visually, it was stunning. Absolutely. The makeup artists, the fashion, the stylists, set designers, whoever researched the hair, who did Wesley Snipes, amazing. And also the special effects for the makeup.
Yes.
So good. Yeah. So good.
Absolutely. Now that there, I will definitely say they did a good job. Definitely did. Yeah. Even the dancing, I enjoyed, you know, but like I said, to me, if you're looking for funny, in my opinion, it just wasn't that, you know, but it was a good movie. It's worth the watch. So y'all go ahead and watch it. Let us know what you think. If you have watched it, let us know what you think. But I mean, our people, there's a consensus that they liked it. So we'll just stick. Good job, Eddie. Good job. And you know, let's hope that you can keep this rolling because he's talking about how he wants to do stand-up now. So let's make sure that those jokes are still there.
Okay.
Just saying. And the other thing that was trending, and it's still trending, which I don't understand why, Pepe Le Pew. He is getting canceled or has been canceled. I know you guys have heard they're talking about Space Jam 2. It's going to star LeBron. They're bringing back, you know, the Looney Tunes, you know, the Toon Squad, all the stuff like that. All the nostalgia, all the feels. But some of the characters aren't coming along for the ride when it comes to part 2. And Pepe Le Pew is one of them because essentially they feel as though that he is the epitome of rape culture. When it comes to, you know, displays of it on our television. And it was actually one writer from the New York Times, I believe he's from, he decided to call attention to it and decided to make a few tweets, you know, saying blogs are mad because I said Pepe Le Pew added to rape culture. Let's see. He grabs, kisses a girl, stranger repeatedly without consent and against her will. She struggles mightily to get away from him, but he won't release her. He locks a door to prevent her from escaping. essentially putting in the clip or the gif of Pepe Le Pew kissing all over her. And then I think he continued on with another tweet. Then he says, this helped teach boys that no didn't really mean no, that it was a part of the game and the starting line of a power struggle. It taught overcoming a woman's strenuous, even physical objections was normal, adorable, funny. They didn't even give the woman the ability to speak. Hey, Charles. Charles.
Who is learning from Pepe Le Pew?
Charles, it's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon. Let it. We cannot be offended by everything. Okay. As a child who grew up on Looney Tunes, Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, all of that, not once did I ever, in my little head, think, "Oh man, this guy, he's feeding into rape culture." And then as an adult, when I did learn about rape culture or whatever it is that you want to call it, not once did I reference back to Pepe Le Pew. Like, I understand there were jokes about it. Like, Dave Chappelle has made jokes about it. But I mean, when we think about it, if we want to go back and have the real discussion, one of the reasons why people tried to get away from him was because he's a skunk and he stunk. Like, you stink.
Yes. And the fumes would be going as she was trying to back away from him, because the hearts would go when they came together, and then the fumes came out and she tried to get away.
Exactly.
Because she was a cat.
Exactly. And then there was an episode when I think she had some sort of, poster or something like that. And she essentially was all over him, and he was trying to get away. But why are we really trying to have a think piece about a cartoon? Like,
I really want to know who is getting life lessons from Pepe Le Pew. Like, who is out here? And they didn't cancel the president, so I don't want to hear nothing about no canceling the cartoon. A real life person who has influence over the entire world, you did not cancel for rape culture. So I don't want to hear nothing about that.
But let's talk
about with the cartoon. Get out of here. Go somewhere.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And I'm just tired of this, and the people who are in agreement were like, yes, we got to get rid of Pepe Le Pew. At what point are we just going to allow kids to just watch cartoons and let it be what it is? Like, of course, there's going to be some sort of, adult innuendos in there, that, we may watch as adults and be like, ha, 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 they didn't get that, but that was funny, but that's the point. Like,
I don't get it. Donald Duck was a whole Nazi. Now all of a sudden, hot dog, and it's all cute now with the Tyler's dropping it low to hot dog because Mickey Mouse house. But he was a whole Nazi, and he ain't never had no pants.
He's.
I'm just saying.
He never had no pants.
He was always naked.
That part,
What?
Just
I can't.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. But I guess they took his claim seriously, and Pepe Le Pew will not make an appearance at the new Space Jam. They also took it another step further and decided to essentially change the way that Lola Bunny looks. In the original, of course, she had, the hourglass figure. She had the boobs. She was the Lolita. Lola Bunny. But now, as you can see on the other side, they took away the boobs. They gave her the baggy clothes to kind of make her look more like a jock. But who was looking that hard? And if you
and what does that say to girls who actually look like that, who have no choice, but their natural bodies are like that? And that's what they look like when they go play, because they have on a crop top and some shorts, which is nothing wrong with that. What message are you sending to those girls?
That part. And I can guarantee you, once again, as a kid watching Space Jam, not once did I ever say, oh, Lola Bunny is sexy. Like, it was a cartoon. I was just enjoying it. Like, it was cool to see Michael Jordan play basketball with cartoons against Monstars. And that was it. Like, as adults, why are you sucking the fun out of everything? Like, to be a kid nowadays, I feel sorry for y'all, because these adults are just taking it way too far. Like, stop.
And then cancel Jessica Rabbit, whatever her name was. She was the epitome of sex. She was made to be the visual representation of sex, but that was okay. All of a sudden, this is not. But she's not even trying to be the sex. It's just her. I don't even.
But what's crazy? Stop. Adults will dress up like Jessica Rabbit, and everybody thinks that's okay. But we want to cancel her. I just stop. Just stop it. Cancel culture has gotten out of control. You know, I really wish that people would stop being so sensitive. Like, we will literally get to the point where you can't even tell jokes anymore because somebody's going to be offended by that. Like, I really need adults to just chill out because at the end of the day, this is a cartoon. It's a cartoon. And
I'm going to say this.
Hard.
Do not put this in the same lane as Columbus Day and all that other stuff that just should not have existed from the get-go. There's a complete difference between canceling stuff that means nothing and actually ending stuff that should have never happened or should have been ended a long time ago. Let's not compare the two. It's not. No,
we're definitely not going to compare the two because this right here is idiotic. And the fact that it's even making, you know, the fact that it's trending, the fact that it's being talked about on blogs, even on, you know, major news outlets is absolutely ridiculous. And I really need people just to relax. Just relax. It's just a cartoon. Let people enjoy things, please. Can we? You know, we already have to wear masks and, you know, be locked up in our house. Can we enjoy Pepe Le Pew and get a couple laughs of it? God damn. But with that being said, once again, we want to hear your thoughts. Let us know what you think. I mean, should they get rid of Pepe Le Pew? Should they keep him? I mean, you know, let us know what you think. Is cancel culture going entirely too far? Because in my opinion, it is. But with that being said, we got to get out of here, guys, because we are almost at the top of the hour. We appreciate you. We love you. Precious, how do you feel, honey?
I feel good. I feel a lot lighter right now. So yes, this is good. Yes. How about you?
Girl, I always feel better after doing the show because I just feel like we could just really talk freely and just say what we need to say. And just be safe. I literally will save things for the show because I'm like, we got to talk about that on the Diva Zen. We got to talk about this, you know. But I do feel better. Once again, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys for coming in, joining in on the discussion, watching us, sharing, liking, all of that. You guys are awesome. We love you so much. We're definitely going to try to get some sort of lyric party game night. We're going to try to schedule something and get y'all in so you all can get in on the fun. But we love you. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next week. Bye.